This video covers interpreting box plots. This will be a pretty short video. It's really easy. Box plot looks something like this, where we know this number right here is the minimum. We have the first or lower quartile. The line inside the box is the median. The other side of the box is the third or upper quartile, and the last line is the maximum, with this gap being the interquartile range. Now today's lesson is basically, what do we know about the box plot? So this entire box plot is split into 4 sections, right? There's always one section here between the minimum and the first quartile. There's one section inside the box between the first quartile and the median. There's one section here between the median and the third quartile, and lastly there's one section here between the third quartile and the maximum, right? So the box plot has 1, 2, 3, 4 sections. Now, no matter how long or how short each section is always going to represent 1/4 of your data, or 25% of your data, right? This is 1/4 right here, this is 1/4 right here, and this is 1/4 right here. Do not get confused by how actually wide or narrow they are. Just know that every chunk of your box plot represents 1/4 of your data, right? So the lower 25% is here, the upper 25% is here, and the box represents the middle 50%, right? Because 25 plus 25 is 50. So the box actually represents the middle 1/2, right? If we're talking about incomes, this would be the middle class, right? We have the lower class, the poor people working at McDonald's. We have the upper class, basically most of your parents. And then we have the middle class, right? Lower middle class, upper middle class, right? The middle 50%, that's what the box represents. Okay, now I'm going to try to trick you a bit. So if I draw a box plot like this, let's see. Let's have the minimum at 1, the first quartile at 3, medians at 4, and then third quartiles at 6. Maximum is at 20. Okay. So now, what percent is greater than 6? Right? So what percent of this box plot is represented by the number greater than 6? Maybe, I don't know, 6, what is this? Hours, I don't know, eating, sleeping? This could be hours in a week doing homework or something. Let's do that. Hours a week doing homework. So what percent of the people surveyed were spending more than 6 hours a week doing homework, right? Looking at the box plot, it looks like a lot, right? Like it looks like the majority of the people you surveyed are doing more than 6 hours a week. But really it's not, right? Because this is all just one section, right? Maybe everyone is here, maybe everyone is actually here, and there's just one outlier that's studying 20 hours a week. So again, this is only one out of the 4 sections of a box plot. So this is just going to be 25%. All right, because remember, every section is 25%. 25%, or 1/4 of all the people are here. 25% are all 1/4 of the people are here. 25% are here, and 25% are here. This width just means there's more variance. The numbers are there's the same number of numbers, they're just more spread out. Here there's also 1/4 of your numbers, but they're all bunched together. Okay, and if I said this box plot represents, let's say, 40 people, If this box plot represents 40 people, the question could be how many people do more than 3 hours? So how many people do more than 3 hours of homework a week? So you would look here, 3 is right here. So all these people do more than 3 hours, all these people do more than 3 hours, and all these people do more than 3 hours. But here we're not asking percent, we're asking people, right? So this is 1/4 of 40 people. So 1/4 of 40, or 40 divided by 4 is 10 people here. This is also 1/4 of 40, so 10 people here. This part is also 1/4 of 40, so 10 people there. So there are 30 people, or 75% of your total. So 30 people do more than 3 hours of homework a week. So again, don't be tricked by the length or the width of the box plot. They're all 1/4. Every section is exactly 1/4 of your data. It's just sometimes your data is more spread out, other times your data is more condensed. All right, practice. Number 1, what percentage of school A students are at least 9 years old? So I'm looking at school A, at least 9. It looks like more than half, but really this is just one section of the box plot, so it's going to be just 25%. B, if school B had 400 students, how many students are under 10? So school B, this represents 400 students. How many students are under 10? So under 10 would be here. That's again 1/4 of 400. 1/4 of 400, or 400 divided by 4 is 100 students. And C, are most of the students in school C between 10 and 11, 11, 12, 11 to 12, or 12 to 14? Well, 10 to 11 is 25%. 11 to 12 is actually 50%, right? Because there's two chunks. And then 12 to 14 is also 25%. So the answer is 11 to 12. Number 4, which is the better team? Well, let's see. The Yankees, their median, they usually win about 100 games. Well, the Diamondbacks usually win only 85 games. On the maximum they've ever won is 100. Well, Yankees is 115. So the median is higher. Just in general, it's higher. So the Yankees. Their median is the Diamondbacks max, right? The Yankees, 50% of the time they win at least 95 games, while the Diamondbacks, 50% of the time they win at least, well, actually not 50, 75% of the time they win at least 95 games here. And then the Diamondbacks, 75% of the time they only win 70 games. So Yankees just in general win a lot more. So 75% of the time the Diamondbacks win at least, I just said that. What the heck? 25, 50, 75. So the cutoff is there. So they win at least 70 games, 75% of the time. All right. If 64 people went to a walkathon, okay, so this box plot represents 64 people. How many people walk at least 20 laps? 20 laps is here. We want at least 20, so 20 or more. So it's 1/4, 2/4, 3/4, or 75%. We want 75% of 64 people. 64 divided by 4 is 16. So this is 16 here, 16 here, 16 here. 16 times 3, or 3/4 of 64. That's 48. So 48 people walked at least 20 laps. And last one. If there were 10 math tests this year, on how many did Ed score at least 80%? On 80%, that's Ed's median. So if this represents 10 tests, median is half. So he scored at least 80 on half of them, right? 1/4, 2/4, so half of them. So he scored 8% on at least 5 tests. All right, that's it.